All right, everybody. I'm so excited to get to it's the chance to talk
Oh,
once
you already
again.
messed up, Rob!
Okay, I'm so I get nervous. Okay. Oh my God, we're like at the round table. Here we are with the great Ron Funches. And Ron, I was so excited to get the chance to meet you at the castle. And I've been so happy to see such a positive reception to you from everything that I've seen online. How are you doing?
Oh, I am doing great, Rob. It's been a whirlwind. I'm a bit sensitive. A lot of energy around me gets me a little anxiety. I had to take off and go to Japan to kind of get away from it for a little bit. But coming back to it after I was like, let me skip the first episode. Because that was a lot of mean DMs. But after that, it really started to turn around and get beautiful. And just the amount of love and appreciation, not just online, but the people who then have gone from online who are coming to my shows
Yeah.
now, is amazing. And I really, really appreciate it.
Ron, coming into the castle, did you want to be a faithful all along, or did you have some traitor aspirations in there?
Well, yeah, I was open. I'm open. I'm the actor. The director tells me what they want me to be. So I was like, will I feel more comfortable as a faithful? Absolutely. That's my general mode is to be
Hmm.
kind, to be sweet, to be cheerful. I love that. I do now kind of believe that maybe being a traitor would have been better for me socially because it would have forced me to be more extroverted. It would have forced me to be more social because I would have been acting and pretending that I cared about people's families. But then, my real self is just like, I don't. So,
Yeah. Now, I don't know how you felt about me, Ron, but I never thought you were a traitor. I felt like that you were, like in my notes, I felt like that you were 100%, even after the Porsche night, where then, and I was even dead after that, so I never even got to come back.
I
But
know
that
that's one of the
I said,
saddest things to me, Rob.
I said that I did not think that you were a traitor after all that.
Hmm. Yeah, and I really appreciate that. I love I mean, I don't know. Was that aired when you talked to me? Can I talk about that?
What about what about the Porsche
When you
vote?
pulled me aside about the caskets, but them putting the casket in there. I don't remember if they aired
Yeah,
that or not.
I don't think that was in the show, but I just
Okay.
like I felt like that I wanted to have things to talk about at the round table, and I felt like that people were going to think that I was suspicious if I didn't have things to talk about. So I thought, hey, let me like tell Ron something ahead of time, and then just to give him a heads up, if I have to, like if people are like waiting for me to talk.
Yeah.
But Ron
And
had
that's what
plenty
I
to talk
respected
about.
so much is the bit of a heads up and just knowing where people said because that's I could feel it from day one that I was like, oh, not that many people were talking to me, like everybody kind of go off in these groups, people would be like, well, all you rode with was Donna and Michael, and I'm like, well, that's what was left for me,
Hmm.
So, and not that I'm complaining, I was happy to ride with Donna, and I learned a lot more about Michael. He's much more complex than people give him credit for, and so. I was, and I love Donna, so I was happy to ride with Donna,
Yeah.
but it just turned out to be a error, I guess.
So I want to ask you about the roundtable that we saw in the last episode,
Mhm.
where you end up saying like you feel like you're probably going to go home, and then you start to say your goodbyes to everybody. But it turns out to be like this, and I don't know if you intended it to be a play, but
Mhm.
everybody sort of comes around and says, "Guys, it's not him. He's not a traitor." And so,
Mhm.
did you plan that you were going to do that, and did you expect it to be received that way?
That's one thing I've been hearing because I listen to your podcast on occasions. I've been in the comments
Oh,
on
well,
the YouTube
thank
on
you,
occasion,
Ron.
of course. And I've heard you guys mention that before. And one thing I want to say is that um, any game plan or plays by me would only been if I was a traitor. Once I was a faithful, I decided that my role was to me, that word means being loyal, being authentically yourself, being a safe space for other people to be themselves. And so I was like, that's what I'm going to be as a faithful. And also I'm a comedian. And one of the rules in comedy is to accept the reality around you. And when I realized I was probably going home, That's just me accepting reality. And so I was like, let's bring it out, bring it to the table. I'll tell you guys what I like about you. They didn't put in some of the things that I didn't like about them, but but I'm glad with how it turned out. And then it swayed people's minds just because they could. I think that was one of the few moments where they could, the people who had some inklings were like, this is Ron. This is his heart. This is who he is. And then the people who thought it was gameplay thought I was a traitor. So if it was gameplay, it wouldn't have even worked. It didn't work. But it allowed me to be who I am and leave it with my head held high and be something that I can show my kids.
Or Ron, you mentioned that you were like you felt like there wasn't a lot of people communicating with you. You were left with Michael. You were left with Donna. This last episode, we do see you. It sounds like you had positive interactions with two Robs in the house,
Yes.
or in the castle. What was your relationship like with Rob Roush?
Rob Roush was my lifeline in that castle. He was so kind to me, even though he's cast as a traitor. That's the funniest thing to me about all of this is that I feel like the traitors were the people who treated me the nicest.
Even Candace?
Which is wild to me. All the trade, I got no beef with no traders, really. Not
Wow.
even Candace. I get that game plan. I get it. That's a great game plan. As a gamer myself and a person who respects strategy, bravo. So I got no beef with no traders. Faithful, other hand. But
I get it.
but Rob was just like he would play more than that one night. We play chess every
A
night.
lot. I even
Yes.
saw it a bunch from I think from the first night. You two
Yes.
would be at that chess table.
Yeah, and that's how we bonded because that's how I bond. I don't bond by like, hey, I love you. All this. I'm not that guy. I don't even care about your job. I'm never, to be honest with you, I think that's what people would read in me first because they didn't, a lot of them didn't know me. And then the first question is, what do you do? And if someone is, that's the first question that someone asked me, I kind of dismiss them. And maybe that's on me. But if I hear what do you do as your question, I'm just kind of like, oh, this person's vapid. This person isn't like who I would hang out with. And I think that I made that too readable for people.
Yeah. So with Rob, Rob says to you, like, oh, people think I'm just a dummy from Alabama. And you said to him, hey, I don't think that. And I think you'd be a great trader. Did you put together at all that Rob was a traitor while you were there?
No, not at all. Wish I could. I wish that was a part of it. But my head was spinning. I was just always thinking about defending myself,
Mhm.
bringing up some social anxieties for me. I'm not usually very much comfortable speaking. I'm comfortable speaking if there's 500 people, 1,000 people, and then if there's two or four. More than that, I don't really get that comfortable.
Yeah.
So I was so busy defending myself that I missed it. But watching it back is like you're like, oh, it's right there in front of your face.
Mhm.
Or Ron, you had mentioned that you've been getting a lot of love, a lot of new audience, maybe potentially finding your shows coming through. Is this something you'd be interested in doing again? Not necessarily, specifically this show, but like, is reality TV something that you'd be like, hey, let me dip back into this well?
Um, oh, only under the very special circumstance. I think the only type of reality show that I would see me ever doing again would be if it was something with Rob, like the Simple Life, where we just got to go around doing road trip stuff. That would be fun to me.
But not even this Rob, right?
No.
The important Rob.
Yeah, the Rob that's gonna sell tickets and get us on the show.
Yeah.
Not you. You need to put on some muscle if we gonna get it
Yeah.
for you.
Ron, when in my Survivor story is also that when I was on Survivor, I was on with Boston Rob, and
Mhm.
also that people like, oh yeah, this is the Rob that we care about here. So I'm used to this.
Well, also you died the first night.
But what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna
I could be
do?
fun. I could be fun to do something with.
Yeah, I think it would be great to do something. I mean, you can be, let's all go. Let's all do it together, Rob.
Sure.
But I think the main lesson that I
I'll
learned
do
is
a
that
podcast about it. You guys go do it.
I like that idea, and then we'll come on the podcast.
That's pretty good.
You could be in the episode too.
Yes. Ron, I wore the most Funchian sweater that I had today for this interview in honor.
Okay. You think I'd wear that?
I don't know if you would, but I felt like that this was the closest that I had to being able to come to your level.
I love it. I appreciate that,
Yeah.
Rob. Man, and I imagine from how you're saying this, we're about to wrap up soon. But I want to take a moment to just say, it really was a pleasure to meet you. In a moment, in the times where I did not feel, great about being isolated and stuff. That your candor, your honesty, the way that you present and play a game, I thoroughly respect, and I just enjoy you as a human.
Yeah. Oh, well, I really appreciate you saying that. And I'm really looking forward to it. My wife is very much looking forward to getting to see you at the finale. So I will see you soon.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Anything else you want to let people know, Ron?
Tell them to come to my shows. Put
Come
my
out to the
link
show.
to my
Yes.
thing, ronfunches.com for tickets. I'm going all over the country on my Faithful tour. So please come and see me.
Okay. All right. Ron, thank you so much. All the best outside of the Traitors and talk to you soon. Okay.
Same to you. Nice to meet you, Pooya.
Nice to meet you too, Ron. Take care.
Pleasure.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.